G'day gorgeous people, come and have a wander through the veggie garden. Straight through the gate we got sugar snap peas and broad beans and garlic. I actually planted the garlic and then I forgot it was there and I ran the rotary hoe over it, but it's coming back. The good thing about sugar snap peas is you can eat them at any stage. Like you can pinch the tips out and you can eat the tips and eat the flowers. I actually ate that. There's a lot of people who tell you you can do stuff, but you don't see them do it. And then you wonder if they're telling the truth or not. So there's some more sugar snap peas here. Now you can eat these pod and all. Just string it like that. Whole pod and everything. Over here I got carrots. Wallabies have been eating these. I put the dog in here to chase the wallabies out, but big dopey mutt doesn't know what to do. I'll tell you how good my dog is. I had an orphaned lamb, and I put it out in a pen overnight, and it got out of the pen and it went and slept with the dog. That's how good my dog is at chasing things. So I had it down here the other night and the wallabies got in and had a good chew on everything. But the good thing about this style of garden is that you plant everything, and if you lose something, it doesn't really matter. This used to be an old peach orchard, just peaches, monoculture. And the first year I planted them, they were looking really good, almost ripe, and then we got a hailstorm, totally wiped them out. So that happened 3 years in a row. So I turned off the irrigation, and we didn't get any hail that year, but because I turned the irrigation off and didn't look after them, we didn't get any fruit. So I turned the irrigation back on, and the next year we had an enormous crop of peaches, and they were infested with fruit fly. So we ended up burning them all. But anyway, moving on, you plant a little bit of everything. You plant what you eat, and then you've always got it. You've always got something. One thing fails, something else does well. So in here I've planted New Guinea beans, cucumbers, loofah gourd and button squash, okra and brown dwarf beans. Normally when I plant something I just water it once. I'm thinking I might water these again, but they're coming up pretty well. They look all right. So there's a contour bank there that fills up with water, and it all seeps through underneath to water everything. And it's been really dry this year, but I've watered the whole thing once this year. I put the sprinklers out in for 20 minutes in each location. And I probably didn't need to. I was just, yeah. Anyway, here we got kohlrabi and lettuce. Some of the lettuce bolted. I've had this variety for a few years now, probably 3 or 4 years. And I always save the seed off the best ones. So some of it bolted straight to seed, so I pulled it out. And the rest, I cut it and ate it, and it shoots back and it'll self-seed. And I've got plants coming up everywhere. All over the whole orchard. And then there's broccoli coming up here, and dates also from seed, and moringa. The moringa's been frosted, but I'm hoping it'll come back. The kohlrabi, the leaves are edible, but they're not very nice. But I have to prove what I'm saying. Some of the bigger ones I've saved for seed. And that's what I mean about the self-sown lettuce, it just comes up everywhere. So I've got pomegranates and shallots and mint and oregano. Some people call that oregano, it's hilarious. The bananas got frosted, but they're coming back. It's just because they're young and they're short. And then we've got some strawberries down here. All of the winter stuff's been really slow this year, but it's getting there. We've got strawberries and celery. And rosemary. And stinging nettle. That's actually a great food colouring, and you can make string out of it. And it's to treat arthritis as well. If you rub your joints on it, it draws the inflammation to the skin. So then there's the cabbages, and you can see where the wallabies got in last night. But these cabbages, I've actually been growing these for a couple of years, and you pick your cabbage when it's ready, and you get all of these shoots coming out. And if you've got too many shoots, you just break them off and stick them in the ground. They grow from cuttings. And so, yeah, these guys have been going for a couple of years. I'll see if I can find a hoverfly here. Or a long-legged fly. There's a long-legged fly. I don't know if you can see that. But wherever you get aphids, like if you get one or two plants that are infected with aphids, most people would want to spray it with something nasty or pull them out and burn them and stuff like that. But they actually breed predators. Every pest has a range of predators that will eat it. And if you kill the pest, even if you use something non-toxic, you take away there's one. Hoverfly just there. I can't really see the screen because I'm in the sun, but hopefully you saw that. And more strawberries. And more dates and more pomegranates. And we've got apples. This tree over here, it flowered late last year. This is Dorset Golden, and it flowered too late last year. It didn't have any other apples flowering to pollinate it, so I didn't get any fruit off of this one. But this year it flowered early and none of the others were open. So I didn't think it was going to set again, but it has. They look quite happy. And that's Anna. And the other one is Tropic Sweet. Then there's Lucina leucocephala. That's the short form. It doesn't get very big. It's really good as stock feed and you can eat them like peas. Then we've got some radishes and some more broccoli and onions. That one's a Pontiophycus indica. It's the thornless one. And yes, there's an exemption written into the legislation in Queensland to allow that. All other Opuntias are illegal. Ulam Raja. That one will just reseed. That dies off in winter. Oh, these are black mulberries. The other one's a dwarf. They call them a dwarf. I think it's a dwarf fruit more than a dwarf tree. So these are big and squishy and sweet. And pigeon pea. You eat them just like a dried pea. Or a split pea. Or a chickpea. Actually, they're more like a lentil. They kind of have a meaty texture. And heaps of sweet potatoes. Oh, look. Yum. My favourite time of year. We've got more broad beans. And you can see where the wallabies have been. They took out my kohlrabi, my cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli. And about half the lentils as well. But like I say, you plant everything, and if you lose something, it doesn't really matter. We've got peaches on here. These peaches are probably just 12 months old. And we've got some oranges. Maria's grandma's oranges. Maria's grandma grew that one from a seed. No, she grew that one's parent from a seed. We've got some coloured carrots in here. Some survived. I had some Nigella here as well, but it looks like it might have been eaten. There was some okra there and garlic. I had a, there it is. That's a jelly palm. I planted 6 of them, but only one survived by the look. If you get bored, you can just go watch something else. But sunflower seeds. chookies. More date palms. There's a black pomegranate from the nursery. I don't buy much. I tend to grow everything from seed. But occasionally I see something special like that and I'll grab it. Got some grafted oranges. Washington Navel and something called a Navelina. Be interesting to find out what that turns out to be. More carrots, more broad beans, more shallots. More of everything. Oh, this apple tree I have to show you. It's just 12 months old. It's 8 foot tall from a seed. So we've got some oak leaf lettuce and what's left of the kohlrabi that the wallabies didn't eat. Some beetroot, more lentils, more mulberries, more peas. There's a heap of herbs in there. There's Italian parsley and sage and thyme. And potatoes. And more mulberries. And I think I'll put more apples in there too. And I planted pecan nuts around here, but they're not up yet. They'll come. And more lettuce. And some Swedes. And garlic. And more lettuce. I didn't plant any of this lettuce, it just comes up by itself. And garlic. And potatoes. And a bush cherry. One lonely little bush cherry there. And that's about it, I think. Hope you like my little video. I'll see you again.